Look at all the purple. And pinky. Oh, look at where the two girls are here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look at them. Oh, you little girls. Are you crazy? Oh, I know you just want to come up and
Cindy,
Don't
this is a Sherpa bag. So it's a soft, you can take her on the plane.
That's how we should
Yeah,
start.
when she's young, right?
Yeah, okay.
When she can still fit under the seat.
Okay.
You can take her on the plane. As long as she can fit in here and turn
Yeah.
around,
Yeah.
you can take her on the plane. After that, she goes in the cargo hold. And
But
then
that's
she'll-
probably a good way to start.
I started with the Sherpa, yeah.
And what happens? Okay, like what happens if she cries and cries and cries?
She won't.
Not
She's
with
gonna
you.
practice at home.
Okay.
You're gonna practice at home. I've
Okay.
never had a puppy that cries incessantly in their Sherpa.
Okay.
And I've gone and picked up puppies and just met them for the first time.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
haven't even been in a bag, and I take them.
Okay.
Just
good.
be careful that when you carry that, a bag like that over the shoulder and you swing it, they'll
Yeah.
hurl.
Yeah.
They get motion sickness, right?
Yeah, okay.
So it's better if you just
Okay.
kind of carry it like this. What I do with mine is I put it on top of my suitcase.
Yeah.
And wheel the whole thing. But they also have to pay attention because if they go to one side,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have,
Yeah.
it's kind of like,
Oh.
okay. But they seem to get less motion sickness that way.
Okay. That's good. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
because when you walk, when you walk, you
Oh,
have a tendency
better.
to swing a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then sometimes,
Oh,
like
yeah,
I
we'd
said,
be
they'll-
careful.
They'll hurl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So how old do you think until they don't fit in there?
I'm gonna guess to 12, maybe 14 weeks, maybe depending on how quickly she grows.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
So that would be.
After
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I want to get a really good head start on the training
Yeah, yeah,
here
yeah,
first,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
I'd like to go back to Kelowna just so that they get, she gets used to the house, and my parents want to see her.
Yeah,
Stuff
yeah.
too. So we'll make one trip
Yeah.
before that time.
And then how long is that good for? How long?
What do you mean?
When do they become too big for that?
12 to 14.
I'd say
Oh.
it depends on their size.
Yeah.
12 to 14 weeks, that's it?
Yeah, it depends
Yeah.
on their size, hey?
Oh,
Because,
yeah, I know,
well,
I
because
know.
they have to
Skip
scrunch
in
down
there.
and fit
I
on
know.
the seat.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? And I think they have a limit of, I think the limit is 20, maybe 25 pounds
Oh, yeah.
in
Oh, yeah.
there,
Okay.
right?
Probably.
The problem with the poodle is that the poodle gets quite
Long
tall.
legs.
Yeah.
And then has a neck, and these kids all have necks on them because Joni and Flynn both have long necks. So,
Yeah.
but if you teach her to lay down in the bag, they do remarkably well. Remarkably well.
Okay.
And they travel well. I mean, when we go, we've taken ours to Vancouver, like youngsters to Vancouver.
Yeah.
And we've done it in the car. And we'll put them in a kennel together in the
Yeah,
car and
yeah.
do the trip, and then we stop and pee, and then they're fine. Like, they're really, really fine.
Yeah.
So as soon as you get her, you start. Are you listening to my conversation, Mr. Blue? Are you listening? Hey.
All over.
He says, I'm listening, but it just sounds a bit like blah, 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 blah. Just start riding with her as soon as you get her.
Yeah.
Just short little trips in the car.
Yeah.
And do them in the Sherpa bag. Do them right off in the Sherpa
that's
bag.
good idea.
Yeah, for sure. And if you want to borrow, smaller kennels as she grows, Lord, I got every frickin' size.
Okay, that might be
So
a
there
good
is
idea
no
too,
reason
actually.
for you to buy
Oh,
all
okay.
those
Okay.
kennels. As she matures and you travel,
Okay.
come get the next
Thank
size
you.
up, because I got 100s, 200s, 300s, 400s, and 500s. So I got lots.
And then once they have to travel by kennel, how does that go? Like with WestJet,
They're fine.
is it good?
That's the way my dogs all travel.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
they don't fit under the seat, generally
Okay.
speaking. They fit under the seat for a very short period of time, right? And then after
Yeah.
that, they're kind of like these guys.
Yeah.
They don't fit under the seat.
No amount of squishing will make that work.
And I find too that if you try to get too much dog in that bag, then they overheat as well.
Yeah.
They get hot, and then they get flustered, and then they
Yeah.
get sick, and
Yeah.
then you get flustered, and then it's bad.
Yeah.
And it's just bad. So right off the start too, make sure you kennel train her, so
Yeah,
kennel
for sure.
train her
Yeah.
and Sherpa bag train her, and you'll be fine.
Okay.
And you will absolutely, positively be fine.
Okay.
And WestJet's really good, and Air Canada, has their moments. So
we're
It's all WestJet.
usually anyway, just how it is.
Well, as long as you're with them, whether they're in cargo or whether they're on board, They're pretty darn good. I always, if I've got someone in cargo, then I always make them confirm that the dog's in cargo, right? And I always go, I'm traveling with the dog.
Yeah.
Confirm that she's on board before you leave the tarmac, or I'm walking off the plane.
How do you do that?
You talk to the hostess as soon as you walk
Okay,
in, because the
okay.
pilot knows.
Okay.
The pilot knows
Oh, okay.
when those dogs get on.
Okay.
So I'm their worst nightmare. When I fly with the dog, it's like, no, I need to know
Yeah.
when my dog's on.
Yeah.
Because if my dog's on, I'm getting off.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
And they don't want to hear that, because they don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
But by the same token, you don't want your puppy on the tarmac, right? As you're
Oh gosh.
going away. And I mean, sure, she can go on the next flight, but you know what?
Yeah, I know. Like, who knows what? Well, I know. No, that wouldn't happen.
Well, and it's, you know what? Over the years, stuff has happened, and it's all ended up okay. But oh my good golly, Miss Molly.
It's happened to you?
Oh Lord, we've had lots of things happen over the
no.
years, and WestJet was one of the worst for a long time. They really were having trouble getting their mojo on the flat, and that's the nicest thing that I can say.
Oh no.
They were just plumb not good at it.
See, and I'm thinking ours is always a direct
But they're
flight,
much,
so
but they're much better now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, where are you flying to Kelowna?
Just
No,
Kelowna.
Yeah.
we can't
It's,
take.
there should be no problem at all. No, there should be no problem at all.
Okay.
But just always confirm that the dog is on board, and I always put their name on the front of the kennel. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
take duct tape.
Yeah.
It's the only time I ever use duct tape is that tape it on the front of the kennel with their name, so they can call them by name, because they like to call them by
What are
name.
you doing?
They're, you know, most of those guys are pretty good. A lot of them have dogs, and they're pretty darn
Yeah,
good.
they are.
You know, so I always give them the benefit of the.
Where's one? Is one behind you, Cindy?
Yeah, there is.
No, Mr. Blow.
Keeping my toes
So,
warm.
Mr.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
He's
back
worn
there.
out.
He's tuckered. He is out for the count. And when they're really tired, they'll go behind you because they go, I've had enough. There's just too much going on here.
Oh,
Yeah,
look at her.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. They're so sweet.
Oh, they're freaking adorable. They're absolutely adorable.
So much fun.
But then I love Joni and I love Flynn, and
Yeah.
and we expected nothing last week. We planned this letter for a few years.
Did you really?
Yeah. So we're really hoping it would happen, right?
Yeah, I got a good one. Well, that'll be-
You're gonna get a leather. You're gonna get a nose leather on there.
You know, Ellie, yesterday we were actually in Kelowna. We got home today and we went to the Canada Day
Oh, yes,
celebrations
yeah,
in Kelowna. So
yeah.
it was really busy and we saw a couple standard poodles. And this one poodle,
Oh,
like
yeah,
he
that was
told me about
bad.
this because this one poodle was a black standard, beautiful looking dog. But the poor thing, and she wasn't in the crowd at that point. I think it was Lucy. So she was away from the crowd, but her head was just down, her tail was sucked between her legs, and she just looked like the
Oh,
saddest
she was
poodle
unhappy.
I've
Yeah,
ever seen.
she was really stressed.
Was she?
Yeah, she was really stressed. Yeah, just
Oh,
really
I just
stressed.
thought, gee, that is just so not a poodle,
Yeah, no, she was really stressed then.
Okay.
No, this is how they carry themselves all the time. Feet move and tail comes up. Yeah,
Yeah.
tails up, heads
but
up,
yeah.
and then when they're down, when they're finished, then heads down, tails are down. They're gonna go to sleep. Yeah, they're worn out. That's as much as they can do at this age.
Yeah,
So you forget they're a nice size, but they're still
yeah,
kids,
they're
right?
puppies. Yeah.
They're kids. She goes, I'm trying to hang in there, but oh, merciful.
Who's the last one
heavens."
standing? Yeah.
She said, just, I just want to lay down. She says, I just want to lay down. He goes, okay, well, if you're still petting, I'll just come for one more pet.
When do they get their last shots?
They get their
remember.
first shots.
Their first shots.
They're going to get their first shots at 6 weeks, or right there, or thereabouts, and then they'll get their last ones at 16 weeks. And I've got that all written down for you. Yeah, I've got it all written down for you.
You know, we haven't even asked how much the puppies are.
For $2,000.
Yeah, I thought maybe. Okay. So do you need a deposit today?
No, not from you.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Oh, gosh. Look at them.
Oh, there's another camera. There's 2 cameras in here.
Oh, wait, go Brett. How's Anna doing?
Oh, she's doing well.
Yeah?
she's doing well.
I miss seeing her. You know?
She's, they miss you guys. Even I was telling Marie too. I was talking to Marie yesterday too, and I said, "Do you remember the Raptuses?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "They're getting one of these puppies," and she went, "Wow." Because Marie, yeah, the veterinarian that's a problem
Oh, yeah.
Guelph. She her Marie has Faith, who is their grandmother.
Oh,
So
okay.
Marie has Faith, who is their grandmother.
Well, actually, Lucy's mom and dad are in the line there somewhere.
Oh, they're there.
Like,
They're
are they,
there.
That must be like great great grandparents.
Oh, they're all
or
there.
something,
Yeah,
you know?
they're all there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all there.
I looked at that.
Yeah, they're all there.
Okay, you done
I
here?
just have my list of questions.